begin a new year, we look back at our favorite, most inspiring stories of 2024. One of them involves an artist whose life changed while at work in Plymouth. Here's Delane Cleveland.
Most everything I do has some of my imagination in it.
Art isn't new for Peter Ross.
I'm drawing a loon.
In fact, the 61-year-old has drawn and painted for much of his life.
It's therapeutic, it's enjoyable, it's fun, it's something I love to do.
But this year, Ross has had to make one significant tweak to his artistic process.
Well, it's my left hand, which I didn't even know I could draw with my left hand. And I'm kind of amazed at how quickly it came along.
He's using his left hand because of an accident that happened at his Plymouth office back on January 17th.
We got a call for a worker with their hand stuck in a piece of machinery. We didn't really know what kind of machinery or anything like that until we arrived there.
When first responders arrived, they found Ross with his right hand stuck in the rollers of a big printing machine that he was trying to clean.
It was stuck, yeah. I think it was about 40 minutes, half hour, somewhere in there.
A colleague called the manufacturer in the Netherlands to find out how to disassemble that section of the machine, and first responders took it from there.
We just all did our jobs. The paramedics started pain control right away. The police officer were assisting with patient care, and the fire department actually started the removal of his hand.
From there, it was off to North Memorial in Robbinsdale for 8.5 hours of surgery to fix the 4 breaks in his hand.
It hurt.
Followed by skin grafts and months of physical therapy.
So much better than it was.
Now, nearly 7 months later, Ross is meeting the people who freed his hand for the first time since the accident.
Thought I'd reach out. I wanted to reach out.
That's awesome. We appreciate that.
Every one of the first responders at this table had a role in helping Ross last January. It's one of the rare occasions where someone has returned to say thanks.
For somebody to come back and say thanks and feel that sense of accomplishment, if you will, and success, it feels really good.
As for Ross,
There I drew my hand where the brakes are.
he hopes his right hand will return to full strength.
So I'm very, very happy about that.
But thanks to a little determination, his left hand is serving as a worthy substitute.
It came along very well, and it's been fun in a weird sort of way to find a silver lining.
In St. Paul, Delane Cleveland, CCX News.
Another of our favorite stories involves a Golden Valley couple's creativity. As I found out, they carved up a new use for invasive buckthorn.
In his garage, Dave Michelin is hard at work.
Oh, probably 40 hours a week at least.
Shaping buckthorn with a lathe.
I'm gonna switch to a little better tool here.
It's not easy.
But you can see why the buckthorn is so difficult to work. You can see how it's chipping. It's because it's so brittle. So these pieces will all break off. Really sharp tools is critical with buckthorn.
But for Dave, cutting through is worth it.
Was it Michelangelo that said every piece of rock has a sculpture in it?
And in the backyard, his wife, Rhoda Michelin, shapes the resilient buckthorn herself.
It's a very kinesthetically calming process, actually.
Her process is a little less specific.
I'm not sure what it will become yet, but I love the shaping and the curves.
Still, both her and Dave have the same goal as they carve through the difficult wood. Spread the story of their son, Adam.
He was a really, really bright kid, misplaced perhaps.
In his childhood, Adam struggled with depression and anxiety. Amid his fight, he died of an accidental overdose at age 18.
He had just enrolled in his college classes.
It left a profound impact on his family.
After he died, I kind of turned to wood carving as a form of grief therapy.
The Michelins sell their projects to raise awareness for substance use disorder. This year's project is going toward a group that raises awareness of the opioid epidemic.
They've been able to reach over 100,000 kids, and the program is amazing, so we're really proud to be able to support them.
Each piece is marked with Adam's initials.
The couple has raised over $40,000 for charity with their buckthorn creations. Finally, this segment, a Plymouth man with a unique style of photography. Here again is Delane Cleveland.
Being able to take some time and just be out in nature in the thick of it, it's a place of refuge and peace. I do apocalyptic shots and I do like more sci-fi shots.
Jonathan Ness isn't here at French Regional Park just to soak up the sun. This is a man on a mission. He's hoping to get just the right shot of his vast collection of Star Wars stormtroopers.
So today we are doing the 332nd Siege Battalion. They're more jungle guys, or at least that's how I write them and shoot them.
In a sense, you could call Ness a war photographer.
There has to be a level of chaos to it, because it's war. You're shooting war. This isn't a picnic.
But the battles he captures all involve toys.
I'm basically recapturing the battles I had as a kid.
Toys which are carefully arranged to make the scene look as realistic as possible.
You don't want just grass. You want other elements that signal to the photo, this is Endor, or this is a different world.
The 25-year-old Ness has been involved with toy photography for the last 18 years. It's a hobby that started when he was in, of all places, church.
I was like, man, I don't want these to just be idols. So I was asking God, like, what can I do to make this not idolization? And I heard him say to me, shoot them.
And shoot them he did. It's a blessing he's happy to share with others.
It's been a real blessing. I've had friends on there who've saved my life.
And it's proof that you're never too old to be a kid.
I am definitely not normal. I'm weird, but I'm like confident weird. So that makes me cool.
Ness's art has been featured in coffee shops, and he's even taught toy photography boot camps.
Find more local news stories at ccxmedia.org and follow us on social media.
Multi-sport high school athletes have become less common in the last decade. And to do it in the same season is really rare. In this CCX Sports Spotlight feature from November, Chaz Moots brought us the story of a Maple Grove athlete who did just that.
Maple Grove senior Gannon Farrens is always on the run. Gannon is the top runner on the Crimson boys cross country team. It's a sport he's competed in since he was young.
I ended up doing a lot of fun runs as a kid. My mom's a big runner, so she always wanted me to just see if I enjoy running, see if I really like the aspect of it.
Gannon has been kicking it into high gear on the varsity cross-country team since 7th grade, but this past fall, he's been kicking it on another field.
Farrens stepping to the middle, turns, fires, and he scores!
The top runner for Crimson cross-country is also one of the top goal scorers for Maple Grove boys soccer. Gannon played soccer growing up as a kid and was on the varsity team his sophomore season. His junior year, he decided to focus on just cross-country, but got the itch to double dip again right before his senior season.
Less than a week, probably like 4 or 5 days, I ended up signing up low before tryouts. I went to some summer sessions, never really made that final decision until pretty close to right before. I'm like, okay, Mom, I really want to do it.
Gannon has been bouncing back and forth between both sports all fall, including the last week of both seasons where he was gearing up for the cross-country state meet and playing in the Class 3A boys soccer state tournament. It all started at 8 a.m. on Wednesday morning at US Bank Stadium when just 6 minutes into the state semifinal game, Gannon hit the jackpot. Gannon scored the first goal in what ended up being a 3-1 win for the Crimson over Andover, sending Maple Grove to their second straight Class 3A championship game.
The bank's always fun. The bank's always super fun to play at, but it can get you a little jittery sometimes, so to be able to get one early and really calm us down, it's a big confidence booster.
5 hours later,
You guys ready? Set, go!
Gannon is on the run again, this time at cross-country practice where he's running just short of a 2-mile workout.
Got what we needed done, got the result, came and got a good workout in, so today's a success.
2 days later on Friday morning, Gannon and the Crimson are back at the bank. In the second half, Gannon was on the money again with a highlight reel header. Unfortunately, the Crimson came up just short of a first ever state title, falling to Egan 4-3 in overtime. The loss was an emotionally draining one, as it was the only loss on the season for Maple Grove. For Gannon, though, it was back to his feet because in 27 hours, he was running again in the Class 3A Boys Cross Country State Championship meet. Gannon ended up taking 39th overall with a time of 16 minutes and 24 seconds.
I knew coming into this it would be a long, hard week, but tried to stay positive, stay confident, and feel like I did that pretty well. Really came out and battled us all the way to the end today, and then even yesterday battled.
To make both work, it's taken some collaboration from co-head soccer head coach Justin Turner.
As much running and as much time as he was putting in, man, it's a lot of respect for that kid.
And cross-country head coach Sean Heaton.
Going to state this year, it's his 6th year in a row making it to the state meet.
Both have been impressed with Gannon's dedication to both sports.
He would make it work where he wasn't going to just change us or his team. If he's in, he's in.
He's just got it all figured out, and so it's easy to work with a student athlete when they're so mature about it and when they're so serious about doing everything at a high level.
With both seasons now complete, Gannon wouldn't change anything with his decision to double dip.
I've enjoyed every second of it. I've had some great races, some great soccer stuff, made some great bonds back with the soccer team too, and I've been hanging out with both teams a lot. It's been an absolutely incredible fall.
Gannon also competes in track and field in the spring for the Crimson and plans to run in college next year. For the CCX Sports Spotlight, I'm John Jacobson.